This is the WellFounder Podcast.
Welcome to the show, Daria. It's an absolute pleasure having you on today.
Thank you, Zavi. It's great being here.
It's great. It's really great. And like I was talking about before we started recording, what we're going to be talking about today, which is AI. Everybody's on this AI wave right now. It's the thing right now. And I'm such a geek about it. I'm really seriously enjoying my every convo I have about AI, learning about the tools. We're going to learn about yours today, and which is unique and how you use it in your own practice. But before we dive in here, could you introduce yourself to our audience? Tell us who you are and how you go into the work you do.
Okay, thanks. Sure. Well, first of all, thanks for inviting me. It's a great pleasure to be here among all the amazing guests that you had on your show. My name is Daria Rudnik. I'm a team architect and a leadership coach. And my background is HR and organizational development. I used to be chief people officer for mostly tech and telecom companies, working for some global organizations. And now I support leaders and teams, helping them be self-sufficient teams and helping them reduce the load that leaders have now because of all the craziness happening in the world and the speed of change. And AI obviously is at some point releasing them and giving some support and help. But on the other hand, the speed is increasing and it's very overwhelming for both leaders and teams. And that's what I kind of try and do in my work with AI coaching and consulting and everything else, is support people to live through that crazy world.
That is very, very interesting. And I can see how somebody like you is needed right now because of this. It's like we've just been thrown into this new world and a lot of people are trying to navigate it. A lot of business. I was browsing on Upwork the other day. There was a post about somebody made a job posting about he needs help on how they can use AI in their business. So I'm guessing that's kind of like where somebody like you can come in here.
I mean, my main topic is how AI can support people in organization, not so much on the technical side. I'm more on the people side. And when we talk about people, we can talk about when it comes to AI, people, teams, leaders, they face two big problems. One is cognitive overload, when again, there's a lot of information, high speed of change, AI adding information, producing some results that you need to kind of absorb and make decisions based on that. It's cognitive overload. And then on the other hand, there is cognitive offload, when teams and leaders start using AI, they kind of get this information and it stops brain from thinking. I don't know if you've experienced that, but when you talk a lot with a bot, with AI, you kind of get information and your brain just kind of goes blank because you're so tired of it. And it's very important to be cautious about this cognitive offload and just not taking the decisions that results that AI gives you, but work with it collaboratively with your team members, with people, so that you can use it to produce some great business outcomes. So kind of my point is from the how AI can help people and how people can use it and how they are not getting into the trap of using AI.
I see. It makes sense. I use ChatGPT a lot. In fact, I use it it's one of my most used tools ever. And as great as it is, because awesome, but there are sometimes I get so frustrated with it, like some of the answers and stuff it gives me. And I'm like, I just need to talk to a human being for this, So it's like, okay, I see that's where you could come and patch the whole. And what kind of organization specifically do you work with? Are we talking about big organizations, new startups, or what does that look like for you?
Well, I mostly work with scale-ups, companies that are growing from, 50 up to 1,000 people that are really rapidly growing. I mean, they're facing some challenges of the fast-growing company, the communication gaps and leaders overloaded because suddenly they used to have 50 people, then they know everyone. They used to have 100. Okay, they know pretty much everyone. Now it's 500. Where are all those people? And these kind of challenges I help leaders solve when they're growing.
I see. And do you, when you say leaders now, are you talking about the founders or are you talking about head of people, those kind of HR heads? Or
anyone who has responsibility for people who has teams, because those people are experience the most pressure. They have pressure from above, whether it's a board of directors or a founder or a CEO or clients. They have some pressure from above, and they have pressure from below, whether it's team members. They're always in the middle. They always squeezed between the demands of all the people around them. So these are the people I'm working with.
Oh, nice. It makes sense. I can see how valuable somebody like you is right now, especially for an organization like that. Because if you don't use AI, you're just gonna be left behind, and it's gonna put you at a disadvantage to a company that is using it. So this is figuring out how to make that work for your company is super important, man. Interesting. And you've got this tool you developed, Aidra. Could you tell us a little bit about that and how it works or how you use it?
Well, I'm a big tech optimist, and I do believe that AI can help and make people's lives easier and better. And I see a huge potential how it can be used in people development. And that's my kind of small steps of playing around with that and trying it out, what it can do and how it can help people. And for now, the main goal of this tool is to, work with this overload and overwhelm of information that leaders have. Sometimes when a leader has a question, how do they deal with the team, some problem with the team or the challenge they're facing with their stakeholders? The question is so complex, and it combines of like many different levels, many different layers, many different stakeholders. So when you ask that question to ChatGPT, you'll get just very generic response that doesn't give you any valuable information. You don't, okay, what? It just makes things more complicated. What I'm trying to do is create something that will help people kind of find the thread and then kind of untangle this thread and find something that they can act upon. It's like you can say it is a thought partner, asking questions and like, are you talking about this or what's more important than that? And then the most important thing is, here is what you can do to act. It's still work in process. I'm still not on that stage yet, but that's the goal I'm aiming for. So for now, it's mostly, give some advice, give some recommendations, but specifically on the topic that leaders asked, but it doesn't like untangle the problem yet.
I like it. It's a solution. It's a very big solution to the the problem. And AI is there to make. That's what a founder was telling me. AI is there to make our lives easier. It's not just there to replace us. So so a tool like that can be very helpful. Are you developing this tool yourself? Are you writing the code and everything, or are you using AI to write
it's a no code. It's a no code platform. So I'm using that. I'm using AI to support me with creating that as well. Yeah, playing with that.
Awesome. All right. One thing I always like to know is, can you walk us through a problem like your target audience is facing, and then what does it look like after you've worked with them? What does the results look like for them?
I would say the result is clarity. And because when you have clarity, you know what to do and you can act. What I always see is when I start working with leaders, whether it's myself or like with the help of my AI coach, is there is a lot of questions. But these questions are not like properly formulated. As you know, if you write the right question, it's like almost you have an answer. So those questions, okay, what do I do? Where I am now? Like, what's the next step? Things like that. Because when leaders don't see what the next step and what they should be doing, kind of the strategy, they don't see ahead. There is a kind of the dirty windshield that covers the view. That's when they come to me. And what we have after the session is they have clarity, they have strategy. Some of them, the results, like the tangible results, can be different. Some people start business. Some people say, wow, I love my job. I want to stay here and then work here. I'll just need to tweak some things. Some people build relationships. It's all different. But everything that unites them is clarity. I have clarity. I know what to do. I can do it.
I like that. I love clarity, because of clarity is the enemy of progress, isn't it? Like without it, you just stagnant. You don't know where to go because of So I can see how. So I see somebody like you can come in, remove all the veil of confusion and everything, and then give them this is where you need to go and this is what you need to do. Yeah, kind of thing. Yeah. Okay.
And you also have a strategy. You know how to do it for yourself further on. I mean, I don't want to work with someone for the rest of their lives. I want people to be able, and teams to be able to like kind of decipher that for themselves and to understand that for themselves. And especially it works with teams, because when I work with team and there is kind of lots of uncertainty and like conflicts and miscommunication, it's not that just I come there and help them. It's that they learn how to do it themselves, and they are fully capable on doing that on their own further on.
I see. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It's like you don't want them to have that same problem all the time. You want to give them that tool. Go do it by yourself kind of thing. Oh, okay. I like that.
Teach them how to fish.
Teach them how to fish. Exactly. That's the best skill you can teach somebody. So yeah, they will never go hungry. Now you talk about these 5 critical skills that teams need to have in the era of AI. Can you walk us through these skills? Yeah, and how did you come about them?
Well, it's basically observations on and literature and research. People post, like some companies are posting about AI. What I mentioned, this cognitive offload and cognitive overload, it means that when teams work with AI, it's not so much they need to develop their tech skills, but it's more about them developing their human skills. What it means is that when you see some results produced by AI, it is human skill to talk, to get together, collaborate, analyze this decision, and kind of make a decision to move forward. Analyze the results that AI produced and make a decision to move forward. It is a human skill. So teams need to be able to collaborate to discuss the results that they see that they get from AI. The other thing is AI is, like you said, you can be tied talking to AI. It's very transactional. You ask questions, you get respond. You ask questions, you get respond. What we need, especially now when loneliness is there's an epidemic of loneliness, epidemic of burnout. And in this, we need more human connection. And it means we need more empathy. And people need to learn how to be empathetic towards each other, especially, again, in remote settings. When people are working independently, they rarely communicate to their team members. They rarely communicate to their leaders. So teams and leaders need to proactively build connections, human to human. People on the team need to be able to talk to each other and support each other emotionally as well, and create this psychologically safe environment where they can talk, communicate, negotiate, and make decisions. And so, I mean, the most important things are human skills. Of course, on top of that, they need to understand how AI works, so that they know where is data coming from. It's not like the deep technical knowledge, but to kind of have an understanding, what's this, like where this information is coming from, how they can use it, what exactly do they need to check in this information if they get it. So understanding of how that works. Yeah, so those are the main things.
I see. It's very interesting. And as you were describing those skills, I was thinking, I'm just when I'm working with ChatGPT by myself, I can see issues that could arise. But thinking of a whole team working with AI, I can see it just compounds the problem. Like that could be. All I was saying is that I think in future, like the more human your company will be, that will be like one of the biggest differentiators going forward. Like because everything is gonna be so fake now, so we're gonna need humans back in the world. Yeah, so this is gonna be an interesting future for all of us. So Daria, this has been an awesome conversation. As we wrap up, yeah, you've given us some really good insight into what you do and the AI, how teams can navigate this AI world. So, what does the future look like for you in terms of both your consultancy and Aidra?
Well, what I see is like how AI is developing, and what I hope it will bring us is more personalized learning and development for people. It's not like companies will do, okay, here is leadership training for everyone. Here is the, I don't know, sales training for everyone. Here is some other training for everyone. When companies will learn how to understand what kind of skills they need in their organizations and what kind of skills do people have on their organizations, kind of with the help of AI, match those people to those skills. And if those people need some upskilling, create some developmental programs specifically for those people so that they can learn what they need, not learn what everyone else is learning on their level. So there's not going to be any levels anymore, no org chart. It will look like a mess, but it will make a lot of sense when skills are connected to people, and all of those, they both connected to organizational purpose, and they all contribute to organizational purpose. And it means that we will not need people sitting in the office, because we know how people create impact. Again, with the help of AI, we can analyze how people are creating their impact, what kind of results and outcomes they're producing, and they can do it from anywhere they want, like whenever they want. And that's the future I'm working towards and I want to see.
That is brilliant. That is such a powerful future, actually. Especially because I've worked in big organizations before. They tend to have a generalized approach to training staff and stuff like this. And so a company like 500 employees, knowing what each person needs is a big challenge. So that's where AI can kind of very interesting. Keep us updated with how it goes, how the development of this. Maybe you come back and when you get to a more advanced stage and share it with us. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome.
That'd be great. I will.
Daria, thank you so much for coming on. This has been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Could you, as we wrap up, I always like to ask our guests for one final tip that you could leave us with, something we could go and apply in our own business right now. What would that be?
It's just related to AI, but again, it's related to human to human, build connections, build human connections with your peers, your stakeholders. It might be hard. It might be hard to get out of your comfort zone and kind of start building relationships with people you don't think if they're interested. But to be honest, everyone wants to be seen. Everyone wants to be heard. So go out there, listen to people, find people, and build those connections. We need that.
Perfect. Love it. Very important. Networking. This is so important. I love it. Thank you so much. Where can our viewers go learn more about you, work with you? What's the best way for them to do that?
I think the best way to do it is through my LinkedIn profile. And you can also visit my website where you can chat with Aidra.
Love it. Thank you once again for coming on. It's been an absolute blast.
Thank you. Thank you, Zavid. It was a great pleasure to talk to you today.